Kerrafront is a very easy material to work with. It is resistant to damage, cracks and splinters. The product is fully waterproof. It does not absorb moisture and thus prevents the growth of bacteria and fungi. Moreover, due to its characteristics and durability, it has a high resistance to mechanical damage. This is a finished product that does not require painting or maintenance. Depending on the degree of soiling, in order to maintain its appropriate looks, we recommend cleaning the facade once a year with gentle cleaning substances. The Kerrafront system offers 4 types of panels: single FS201, double FS202, single FS301 and double FS302. The panels as well as the finishing accessories are available in several colors. Regardless of the shape of the panel, the installation of the system is flexible and it offers 3 profile connecting options: an FS282 2-part center joint trim connection, connection by means of the J connectors, and with the Connex system. Preparation for installation. The installation of the system is simple, clean, and it is carried out using basic assembly tools. It is best to use a fine-tooth saw to cut the panels and trims. The saw blade should be placed in the normal position, the same as for cutting wood. The panels are very easy to work with. They are lightweight, rigid, and they do not produce dust during cutting, so they do not require special precautions. Kerrafront can be installed in different conditions, even at high air humidity and at a wide range of ambient temperatures. Before installation, the panels should be left for at least 24 hours to adapt to the ambient temperature. The final result is dependent on the preparation of the wall before installation. The wall should be perfectly smooth and protected against moisture. The panels should be mounted on a frame made of wooden battens. The spacing for the battens should be 40 cm and 60 cm for white, cream, beige, claystone, light grey, pearl grey, ivory and sand colors. For panels in the following colors: white, cream, beige, claystone, light grey, sand, pearl grey and ivory, we use 2 cm thick battens. For other colors, we use battens with a thickness of 4 cm. Facade installation. The assembly begins with cutting and installation of finishing trims. Before the assembly, we drill the bottom parts of the trims in order to facilitate their installation. In order to ensure proper ventilation, the distance from the ground surface should be kept. The panels and trims should be installed at a distance of at least 15 cm. The installation begins with the bottom parts of the 2-piece vertical trims. Mount the FS211 starter trim between the vertical trims. The level of the FS211 starter trim is determined using a piece of the panel and a spirit level. At the top of the wall, we install the FS262 ventilation trim. Between the vertical and horizontal trims, we should keep the expansion joints of about 2 cm. Both the starter trim and the ventilation trim should be carefully leveled. In external and internal corners, we use the same trim, the FS222 universal corner, which speeds up the installation and reduces the amount of waste. The trims should be firmly attached to the substructure. We start the assembly of panels from the bottom by placing the panel on the starter trim. The panel does not require leveling, just make sure that it is properly seated on the starting trim and the expansion joints have been maintained. Once seated, the panel adheres rigidly to the load-bearing structure, which makes it easy to fix the panel. When cutting the panels to the desired length, remember to take into account the expansion joint in the battens and the ambient temperature. The expansion joint depends on the length of the panel and changes together with the ambient temperature. The panels are fixed using the inox screws. The screws should always be fixed in the middle of the mounting hole and they should not be tightened. This allows for the panel to expand and contract depending on the changing ambient temperature. When using a nailing gun, test and adjust the nailing force to the hardness of the wood used in the structure. Each next panel is mounted in the same way. After being fixed on the locks, the panels do not require leveling and no additional help is needed when installing them. The locks of the panels ensure a tight, impermeable facade surface. Usually, the last panel needs to be cut. Measure the necessary height of the panel. Take the measurement from the trim to the top edge of the penultimate panel. The panel should be fixed on the edge so that the head of the screw holds the cut edge. The panel should be fixed on the edge so that the head of the screw holds the cut edge. If it is necessary to obtain a uniform surface with the remaining panels, we use washers on the entire length of the panel. The remains of the panels work well. Do not drive the screw through the panel because it will prevent the panel from working under the influence of temperature. After installing the last panel, all you have to do is attach the top layer of the finishing trims. The trims should be attached using a rubber hammer or a wooden batten. After the finishing trims have been attached, the facade is ready. It does not require any additional finishing work or silicone insulation. Methods of joining panels. There are 3 ways of joining the panels. For 6-meter-long panels, we use the FS282 2-part center joint trim or J-connectors. For 2.95-meter panels, we use the Connex system installation. For long walls, it is necessary to plan the places where the panels are to be joined. The Kerrafront system provides 2 methods for joining the panels lengthwise. You can use either the FS282 2-part trim or the joint covers J201, J202, J302. When using the connecting trim, install its underside at the point of choice on the double batten. When using the J-connectors, it is necessary to remember about their aesthetic layout and maintaining the gaps of at least 40 cm between the preceding connector and the connector in the next row. J-connectors should always be placed on the batten. In the case of installation along a wall which exceeds 18 meters in length, it is necessary to use an FS282 center joint trim. Connex is a simple and aesthetic way of joining panels. In this system, panels are 2.95 meters long. They have special locks at each end, enabling much faster and easier installation without the necessity to use additional accessories. As a result, the butt splices of the Connex system are very aesthetic and almost invisible on the wall surface. Remember to keep the gaps between the joints in successive rows of panels. Finishing of window and door openings. The installation of panels and window recesses can be done in 2 ways, using the PZ607 profile or 2-part trims FS222 universal corner together with an FS252 top edge trim. The PZ607 profile for finishing window recesses, together with its accessories, is a durable and quick way to install external window finishing. It is distinguished by its aesthetics. It does not produce loud sounds in the rain, it is resistant to corrosion, and it does not require maintenance. When using two-part trims, start by mounting the underside of the FS252 trim at the inside edge of the window recess. And the underside of the FS222 universal corner along the outside edge of the recess respectively. In order to achieve an aesthetically pleasing connection of the trim, cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. After installing the underside parts of the trims, install the panels cut to the appropriate size. When cutting them, it is important to maintain the appropriate dilatation. After fixing the panels, you just need to put on the top parts of the trims. To finish the area around windows and doors, we use an FS252 top edge trim cut at the angle of 45 degrees. The panels around the window should be cut to size, keeping the expansion joint. Stairs. For stairs, terraces, porches, and all other places where it is not possible to install a starting trim, we use the FS251 universal trim, in which it is necessary to drill holes for draining water. The trim pockets should also be cut to achieve a smooth connection at the edges of the stairs. The trims prepared in such a way should be mounted to the substructure. The panels should be cut to match the shape of individual steps.